Welcome everybody from around the world. This is K5 and today we got a triple Dipple parcel special, one from America, one from Mark Amy's, and Mark Amy's gets something special from Japan. Right, I've opened up the box, I've got rid of all the packaging and we've got a little enjoy. I think I'm going to enjoy this one a lot, Mark, so let's pull out all this stuff and have a look, see what's in it. So I've got the old obligatory bubble wrap, which is cool. Oh, I think we got a custom, Can-Am customs, there it is. More bubble wrap, and some loose, a lot of loose. Oh Mark, this is too much, man, already. Oh my word, there's lots of loose stuff going on. Wow, holy moly. Right, okay, oh, there's more loose. Let's have a look. I can't wait to see what. Oh my word! There's another one. All lovely wrapped in fantastic tissue paper. We got more bubble wrap. Oh my word! And there's some carded stuff. So I'm going to start with the carded stuff first. Here we go. Right. This looks awesome. This is a oh dear, it's got a little dent on the bottom, that's alright there, but I think Mark has been busy in there. He's done what Matchbox should have done in the first place and given this little beauty a once over. What a thing. Oh dear, shall we get it out? Yeah, let's get it out and have a look. Wow, that's cool. Wow, that kind of goes with the green one from Captain John Joe the other day. That's nice, very nice. Silver one of these. Now the other day I did actually manage to pick up the grey model, and it really all started with this car here. Mark said he had one of these spare. He couldn't believe that I couldn't find one, and of course I found that grey one, which I was dead chuffed about. But wow, this is awesome to have another variation on that beautiful Nissan Skyline. Oh yes, recently Poundland found a load of old stock out the back of their warehouse, I should imagine, and this was a spare piece that he picked up. This is the shoebox. Looks like it's based on a 1952 Ford, I would say. Wow, this is nice though, isn't it? Look at that. I do like the shoebox. Actually, I have a few shoeboxes now in my collection. Obviously not enough to make your heart weep, but well, this is nice. This looks like some kind of fridge magnet. Ooh, Max Camaro. That's nice. That's nice. Ooh, can't wait to get into these loose cars. Oh, we've got more bubble wrap. More bubble wrap. I think that's it. The box is empty. Let's take a look in all this paper. So first up, oh, that's nice, little corgi from Marvel Comics period. So this is sort of late 80s, mid to late 80s. Little Corgi Junior. Very good condition. Thanks, Mark. That's nice, man. I do not have any of these box trucks actually from Corgi, especially the ones with all the logos down the side. So that is cool. Oh yes, one of a Corgi classic. Little 911 in pretty good condition as well. Very good order. Corgi. Very nice indeed. From around about 1986. Lovely. Is that made in England as well? Very cool. Very cool. What's this one? Oh, that's a Matchbox BMW Z4. Whoa, look at that. 154 scale. For you 164s out there, yeah, 154. Just peeking in there. Of course, 154 currently is one of No Rev's favourite scales. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? It's got a little bit of a wonky window. Pull that up. Very nice. A bit of open. I see a theme here. A bit of open top action. Whoa! Oh man! Definitely cool. Missing from. I do love these older, very old pieces from Corgi. This is of course a Husky. There it is. The Starfire Coupe. And what's so good about this one is the opening boot. It's huge. There it is. Look at that. That would make a great car for bank robberies and storing your friends, particularly if you can't squeeze them all in there. Look at that. Lovely piece. Bit of Americana from the 60s. I love it. Love it. The size of that thing at the back. Crikey. Get a swimming pool back there. Okay, what's next? Oh. Oh right, yeah. Now this really is a VW concept vehicle, and of course this is in the Resist Drugs and Violence crew. There. Oh, this is awesome though. With the that paint job is excellent. An imaginary anti-hoodlum vehicle. Come on, you kids, you've got to resist drugs and violence. It's very important that you do so. Make a better world. It's a funny vehicle actually. It looks like it's kind of back to front. Brilliant. Okay, what's in here? See if you can guess. Oh yes, I think I know already. That sounds a bit of a Can-Am racer. Whoa. Black Hawk. That's nice. Is it a Matchbox? Initially, it does look like a Matchbox, but it's obviously not. It's a no-name. It's a no-name situation, but it's a very, very nice no-name. I'm liking that a lot. Yeah, I don't really collect these sort of cars, but I do on a random basis. So I now have quite a few random racers. Very, very cool. Kind of looks like a Ford. Just guessing. Mega. Whoa. Whoa, look at that. It's a whiz wheel Jeep, yes indeed, with a working window. That is very, very rare to find actually. Of course this one's missing its driver, but the general condition is good. Very, very nice. Cool, he did a good Jeep back in the day. Wow, that is wicked. Thank you, Mark. I'm loving these cars. Thank you so much. It is awesome. All right, what's this? Oh, wow. Yes, I have several of these now. This is a Corvette, 1964 Corvette, Copo Corvette, I guess, from Matchbox. Oh, Grand Sport, there we go. Oh, that's nice. One of my favourite Corvettes, of course. Wow. Always wanted to drive one of these when I was a child. I would have killed myself. Wow, what a thing. Thank you. Okay, now the last thing is we're going to look inside this little box here. I'm wondering if this is one of Mark's actual factual customs. Okay, so the box top is released. Wow, it's a little Baja thing from Wowness. Look at that. Of course, it comes with Mark's little, what's that, number 11. What's it called? Beach bug. Oh, that's mad. Look at that. What's he done to it? I'm sure that engine would have come with it, of course. But he's put some lovely detail onto the wheels. Got a nice number on the side there. Number 7. That's all there, isn't it? It's wicked. And look at that antenna at the back there. Very delicate. That's nice. Thank you so much, Mark. These are awesome. And I think we're going to pass the video camera over to you now to see what you got from Japan. I'm sure it's going to be mega.
Hello and welcome to my little section, my rave on, and goodness me, what a reason to rave on this week, because all of this lot, bar the one at the back, he says reaching forward, are from a very kind gentleman in Japan called Kozi Taguchi, and you may have heard of him before because Chris knows him very well and has done exchanges for of die casts over the years, and that's how I got to find out about it. So having been in contact with Kozi through Instagram, he did the box and I did a box. His box came to me before his to mine. I went to his, rather, he says, waffling on again. Anyway, this is pretty much, bar a few exceptions, what arrived, and chances are you won't recognise any of this lot unless, of course, you are into Japanese stuff. So let's start and show you some of these wonderful, wonderful things from Kozi-san. Okay, so this one here, he says, reaching for it, is a Atomica Nissan R382. So it's a did a tiny bit of research on this. Is from around about 1969-70. It was when the Japanese motor manufacturers decided they were going to go into racing, this being a sort of type Can-Am type car, but of course they weren't in the Can-Am series. This is a model which I'm debating whether I should do a renovation on, and I think I will do, and I think I'll do it in white. It's a wonderful little model. I suggest it probably comes from the early 70s. Beautifully made, nice heavy casting. Interesting wheels for that time period as well, because if you consider what Matchbox and Corgi were doing at that time, they were flat fronted wheels and these are indented. But it's got suspension on it and it's got a detailed interior of sorts. Effectively, let's not forget these are toys, or they're designed to be toys, but lovely. Okay, that's that one. So I shall move that one slightly out of the way. No, I won't. I'll go there. This one here, I love this one. This is a Lintoy, as it said, Alfa Romeo Coupe 33. Bit of a mouthful, but I think it's actually an Alfa Romeo Stradale. Forgive my terrible Italian, but it is a prototype racing car from, again, I would imagine the late 60s, early 70s. There's your V12 block in the back there. What I've got to say about this is it's really, really nicely made. It's heavy, got suspension, but it's beautifully crafted. And you know, I'm supposed to be Mr. Rave On, so I'm going to rave on about this. It really is brilliant. Look at that shut line between the engine bay door and the body. That is superb. My father, as a trained mechanical engineer, he served in the Air Force, and one of the things I appreciate is good engineering, and my goodness, that is superb. And consider that this is a model which is now probably 45 plus years old. There's no give in that at all. It shuts perfectly. Wonderful, wonderful little model. Again, do I restore it? I don't know. In the process, could I spoil it, or do I want to leave it as it is? But Lintoy, one of these brands that may have appeared in this country back in the day, in the 70s. And I said to Chris on the phone, I spoke to him, I said, you know, this is the sort of thing that I would have dismissed as a child because it wasn't Matchbox, it wasn't Corgi, and I was probably being a snob even at that tender age of 6 or 7. But I'll tell you what, good stuff. So that's that. And over to this one. This is another Tomica, and it is a heavy 6-wheel truck. It is a Mitsubishi Fuso, and beautiful little sticker on the side there for fish. So it's transporting fish across the islands of Japan, and the doors open. Again, this must be, I would imagine, early 70s, early to mid 70s. Beautiful, really nicely made, proper Japanese craftsmanship, made in Japan. Wonderful. There's that. How about this? Another raver. This one. Tomica, and it's Lotus Esprit. There you go, right around, dating from 1979 it says. Now, okay, so nothing special you may say. It's obviously showing its age, but look at this little feature. What's that on the base there? Let's just twiddle it about and bang, look, it's headlamps. Another thing I have to say is different manufacturer, but very, very nicely done, and those go down flat. So very nice little bit of pocket engineering. The headlamps are on there. Wonderful, really good. Onto this one. Now this is obviously a Datsun 240Z, or a Fairlady Z. It's a rally car from I would imagine around about 1970. This was a kit, and it came on a card with a bubble pack over the top, and a screwdriver, made by a company called Dido, not the singer. Made in China this time, but look at the detail. Under that sump guard, that comes off, and that's where the screw point is. Wonderfully done. Rubber tyres. I mean, you know, it's superb. Really amazing. It puts Oxford diecast to shame. Really. There's that, and no, this one. Look at this. I love this one. Comes out of its box. This would have been a kit, and it was made by a company called Niho Mokai. I'm sure Kozi will correct my Japanese, but look, there's the instructions. It was a kit, tiny little screws, freewheel. Obviously, there's the manufacturer's branding, the name Lotus Ford. Okay, with a kit number on there. So that's 2, 3 zeros and a 4. Cop out. There was a series, and as you can see, there's an F49B. That means that was a Lotus 49. BRM. So I would say that this is stuff that was, you know, 60s, but probably early 70s as well. Back form insert that's showing its age. Lovely little case, we've seen that already. Important thing on there, it says made in Japan, not China. And here is the car. Now I actually couldn't resist the temptation to undo all this, and I unscrewed those beautifully precision screws. Heavy bottom and top metal die cast. Okay, a little driver in there who secures down onto a plate that fits in between those two as like a sandwich, and you've got a wire that runs from the back wheel to the front wheel, pretty like the old Hot Wheels, original Hot Wheels. But inside there, you can just see in the wheel hubs, it's metal, so it's got weight. The other thing is, look at the way the wheel's sitting. It looks like when you see those old pictures of Formula 1 cars going over the humps at places like Spa or Zandvoort, okay, back in the day, they would leap, and of course the weight of the wheels would come down on the suspension. So almost pretty much a copy in some ways of what the Matchbox Lotus 25. So I think this is effectively a Lotus 25, but just really charming. It's not accurate, okay, but it is just a charming and extremely well engineered Japanese model. Wonderful, I love it, I really do. Next, quickly over to this one, Tomica Limited Vintage. These are the special Tomicas, very special, and this is a Mitsubishi Leo 3-wheeled utility vehicle. Now, I'm sure I'll be corrected here, but after World War II, Japan, much like a lot of countries, apart from America, was suffering terribly from their economy. And utility and economy was the byword. So these little 3-wheel trucks were very cheap and economical to run, and very manoeuvrable too. So this comes off, and you've got a little crate in there. Look, 2 crates of whatever it is. I don't know. Maybe it was Tomica little trucks inside there. Wonderful little rubber tyres. You've got clear lenses in there. And that's a metal base plate. Brilliant, wonderful. And let's go on to a last one here out of Kozi's wonderful collection. Really can't thank him enough. I did send him a package as well, so he's got some sort of normal stuff, Lesnies and Corgis Matchbox. Look at this, Lamborghini Jota, I believe it's pronounced, or Jota if you want to be a peasant like me. And this is a Lamborghini Miura, and it's a special version. That was, I think, a chap called Bob Wallace, who was a New Zealander, who was a test engineer for Lamborghini, and he souped up the Miura, and he got his aerofoil on here to keep the whole thing down, because I think obviously it was a car that was prone to lifting. So you've got another aerofoil here. You've got extra vents for whatever, probably the brakes, I'd imagine. This actual car, the first one, I do believe actually had an accident and was burnt out. But then I think a small production run of about 5 or 10 were made. So a wonderful little model of a wonderful car, beautifully detailed. This is Tomica. It's not vintage, it is the premium series, as you can see from the box here. Loads of information, most of it in Japanese, but just superb. Putting, I'm afraid, Mattel to shame. And this, I think, is the sort of stuff that if Matchbox as Lesnie would have kept going uninterfered with all the stupid nonsense with Hot Wheels and trying to compete with them, this is the sort of stuff that they would have been doing now. But it was not to be. But at least someone's doing it, and doing it extremely well. So well done, Tomica. Beautifully done. Look at the illustration. Superb. And that's it for all the Kozi stuff. But I did want to just get this one in quickly. I found out that budgie models are still going. Well, not going, it was reactivated by someone. I'm sure Chris will cover this in a later video, but there's a quick peek of this. I got one. I told everybody about it. They are made in England. Someone got the dies for it. They're doing a small number of models. This and the Volkswagen van minibus. Look at that. Look at the difference between that and something like a Tomica, but this is based on original dies. It is the original dies that were used by Budgie Moorstone. I think it was originally Moorstone and then became Budgie. So more on this on another occasion. I'm sure Chris will cover it, but I thought I'd just fit that in as a little teaser at the end. Thank you again to Kozi-san. A wonderful, wonderful set of models, and I was so delighted when they arrived last week. Postman came and I was beside myself, I really was. So cannot thank him enough, and that's me raved out. All the best, and see you.
What a wicked parcel for my friend Mark there. And finally we're going to look at this piece here. this is all hidden away in this box from America. This is from Sic Diecast. I'm going to open it up and tell you the story as I go. So basically, Rick got in contact with me and he was looking for a specific car. It was the Jensen Interceptor. Now there's only one Jensen Interceptor in 1/64 scale, and that is made by Kozi, Kozi Whiz Wheels. It was originally a Husky, but to buy one of those pieces and then customise it was going to cost him the best part of 60 quid or thereabouts. So he asked me if I had one kicking around, and I happen to have an old model kicking around, and I posted that off to him. Well, the beginning of the month, and in thanks, he said he'd make me a custom, and I was like, oh, you don't have to, but secretly I was really excited, and he said, what sort of car do you want me to do? I said, oh, how about one of your 4x4s? So he goes, okay then, and we kind of rattled through a few options, and eventually, or very quickly, came up with making one of these. And Rick was very excited about making something, because he hasn't, I don't think he's done anything for a little while. I wonder what it can be. Let's have a look. Can you guess? Of course, Sic Ric is famous for his lifts. Oh, here it comes. Oh yes. Oh, it's got some spare parts here. I'm not sure what that is. It's probably a bit of bumper. Let's have a look. Wow. So here we go. Remember at the start of the show, there was a Hot Wheels Land Rover kicking around on the stage here. Oh yes, it's got suspension. Just have a quick look at this suspension. Wow, before I start gluing things on. It's all cut out of plastic. Looks like the good old PVC type plastic. And then stuck together, the axles actually move. It's got three wheels, which is awesome. I'm not sure where those wheels come from, but they are cool. And then the to facilitate the suspension, Rick's actually cut right into the base, and yeah, kind of flushed it through, flushed the chassis in there. So it's a good solid old piece of kit, and the actual suspension arms look like they're kind of glued into the middle. So it's actually quite a precision job. You can see that the axles are held together in those little clampy bits there on the suspension arms. So all in all, quite an intricate little job that needs to be done there. But the finished result is pretty awesome. Good paint job as well. Just giving it the military green, which is pretty good as well, so that'll fit in nicely with my military collection. Loving it. Oh, there it is. Underneath it, there is a roof rack. Oh man, this goes on the top here. It's like a model kit, and this all fits on. That is amazing. All made out of wire. Oh, I know. A piece here sticks on the side of the roof rack. Right, I finally managed to get this little beauty glued together, and I used some of this stuff here. Where is it? There it is. Some gel, super glue gel. The reason I use gel is because it stays where you put it, as opposed to dribbling around. And I use that brand because that's the only one I can get, because I had to go to the DIY shop. So there we go. You can see the roof rack there in position. It's all glued in, and that's a spectacular paint job there. It kind of reminds me of the US Marines a bit, that one. Love that little light bar on the top of the cab. Very clever, very ingenious actually. It's actually a string of little glitter crystals just stuck down. Works excellently. Of course, goes with all the extra lighting there we need. There's an interesting thing on the side there. I'm not sure what it's for. It's probably some kind of jack, I should imagine. So there's a shovel and a additional giant water can in the back there. Actually, red is, in England we use that as red as petrol, so could well be spare fuel for the vehicle. So if you were wondering exactly what this looked like to start with, there's the original, and there's a mighty jacking going on, but it's kept the wheels still look good. It's just slightly peeking out slightly more than they were. There's the original decals. Very nice piece from Hot Wheels to start with. So I think Rick quite enjoyed this, as he does like his Land Rovers. But there you go. So I'm going to finish on this note now. I'm going to say thanks to Mark Amies for this awesome custom as well. Thanks to Sic Ric Diecasts over there in America. And very big thanks to Kozi Takushi for that lovely parcel you sent to Mark. It's K5 saying thanks for watching, and ta-ta for now.